Hare Krishna. My name is Ananga Lata Devi Dasi, and I am an initiated disciple in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. I have been blessed with the great fortune of formalizing my vows and committing to this path of bhakti yoga or Krishna consciousness through my teacher, who is a direct disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I first came in contact with the Hare Krishna movement when I was in my first year of college, first semester. I had come from a chaotic household. I have a history of trauma and abuse, and that sounded very cheerful the way that I said that. I come from a history of trauma and abuse, as many of us do in this world, in this day and age. And when I left the house and went to college in a new city, it was the height of my acting out phase. Full facility, full freedom to escape, avoid, reject, cover up all of that pain and suffering that I was really experiencing inside. As someone who always cares about the well-being of others and humanity and helping, attracted to the humanitarian efforts, it also manifested as a sense of mission and purpose, and I want to help others who have gone through what I've gone through. How do we reform society so that no one else ever has to go through this again? Women are being oppressed. There's all these systems of injustice, and these are the reasons why women are degraded and abused. I majored in women's studies. I studied essentially feminist philosophy throughout my undergraduate, but as I mentioned before, I also had come in contact with the books of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. So it was a dual track education, a double major, if you will. And it's been a journey of healing by the grace of my spiritual guru, who is also an energy healer. It's been a journey of healing. It's been a journey of spiritual maturation. And it is through this journey, and very much so still on this journey, that I share with you all today. As I mentioned, I met the Hare Krishnas in my first semester of college, and by the middle of my second semester of college, I had become completely materially exhausted. I was completely done, in so much pain and so much suffering, tired of the way that I was living. On one hand, I was going to the kirtans at the preaching center and going in the street and chanting Hare Krishna, and on the other hand, I was going to the bars and the clubs and engaging in all of these degrading activities, and I was so grateful to have enough of a taste to keep chanting, to keep getting purified, and I was like, I do not want this life anymore. I am done. I had an influential conversation. In that conversation, because I was currently in a situationship with a gentleman who was essentially the embodiment of my deviant behavior, I'll say, and he told me, you're just going to have to tell him. You're just going to have to tell him you're wanting to take to spiritual life, and you're wanting to take the spiritual life seriously, and that's going to change you all's relationship. I remember that conversation so clearly. You know, I went over to his house, I let him know, and that was the end of that. I remember him never judging me. You know, like I said, I was this free-spirited, lively, Hare Krishna, but also doing the same thing in all my acting out behaviors, but he never judged me. He said, it's not so good what I was doing, but he said, just keep chanting. He had so much faith in the holy name, and it worked. I just kept chanting, and I made that choice on my own, through my own realization. I do have deep respect and thanks to this soul in particular, even though I'm no longer affiliated with the organization that he's a part of. That's the mood that I hope to transmit through these videos, through this series. I want to be so honoring of our trauma backgrounds that we've been through, that's likely the cause of this lifestyle, of whatever choices that we're making. I recognize that the content in this video could be triggering. It can bring up feelings of blame, shame, and I will do my very best to speak delicately, to speak pleasingly, to speak beneficially and truthfully, because these topics are sensitive and these topics are also of great import. So of course, in the middle of recording, my video cut out, so I did want to come back just to properly close out by saying I hope that this video is beneficial for myself and anyone who comes in contact with it. I'm hoping for it to be a mix of philosophy, personal experience, and practical application. Reach out to me. My website is www.floweringvineoftruth.com. Submit a contact form. Feel free to like this video, subscribe, share it, and engage in conversation with me. With that, I invite you to continue watching, and I thank you for making it this far. Welcome to Celibacy and Chastity. Chaste, not chaste. They must pass high tests in order to win your hand in marriage. Very high tests. Pure Vaishnava. All the austerities that you've gone through, they must go through. All the celibacy that you've experienced, they must experience. All the sacrifice and healing and deep introspection work that you've engaged in, they must engage in. Because then you are a unit, an undeniable force going forward to shake society, a fortress that can't be broken by any wandering eyes or envious souls. No, too strong for that. I've trained too long for that. Hare Krishna.